All right, so this morning I got up and I have on my Audible, I have a book that reads all the Psalms. So I started playing that, and Psalms 50 kind of stood out to me as being a little different. Um, Now, this is a Psalm of Asaph, which he is the grandson of the prophet Samuel. And Samuel said in 1 Samuel 15:22, to obey is better than to sacrifice, and to heed better than the fat of rams. And you will see this in the first part. The mighty one, God the Lord, has spoken and called the earth from the rising of the sun to its going down. Out of Zion, the perfection of beauty, God will shine forth. Our God will come and not keep silent. All right, silence is one of the themes of what I'm going to say today. You hear from left-wing circles that silence is violence. Silence is acquiescence. If you don't say something, that means you agree with it. A fire, so get back to, we're in verse 3. A fire shall devour before him, and it shall be very tempestuous all around him. He shall call to the heavens above. He's speaking, and to the earth, that he may judge the people. So he's taking action. He's speaking. He says, gather the saints together to me, those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice. Let the heavens declare his righteousness, for God himself is judge. All right, so he's gathering everybody. He wants to speak to them. It's like, okay, ding, ding, ding. I called a meeting, guys, with his people. Just the people who made a covenant with him. This isn't to the earth. That's coming later. Hear, O my people, and I will speak, O Israel, and I will testify against you. I will lay charges. When they say testify against you, you're laying charges against someone. You're charging them with a crime, just like Solomon did in Ecclesiastes against God. I am God, your God. I will not rebuke you for your sacrifices or your burnt offerings, which are continually before me. I will not take a bull from your house, nor goats out of your fields. For every beast of the field is mine, and the cattle of 1,000 hills. And I know all the birds on the mountains, and the wild beasts of the field are mine. If I was hungry, I would not tell you. The world is mine in its fullness. Will I eat the flesh of bulls or drink the blood of goats? Apparently one version of verse 14 says that that sacrifice is offered to God as a sacrifice thanksgiving. So instead of offering the blood of goats and bulls, which he doesn't need because he owns it all already, says offer to God thanksgiving and pay your vows to the Most High. Call upon me in the day of trouble, and I will deliver you, and you shall glorify me. This goes back to what Samuel said, and this guy's writing is the grandson of Samuel. It says, to obey is better than sacrifice, and to heed is better than the fat of rams. 1 Samuel 15:22. So, in other words, he's saying, do right, and let that be your sacrifice over the required offerings. Now, heard me mention this before if you actually watch any of these videos. Micah 6:8. He has shown you, O man, what is good and what the Lord requires of thee, of you, but to do justly and to love mercy and to walk humbly with your God. Yeah, I think I memorized this in both King James and non-King James. So apparently a thee or a thou will come out every now and then. I went to Pensacola Christian College and they use King James. So some of the verses that I memorized when I was there kind of get stuck over the New King James, which I use more frequently now. All right, then he's turning his focus. Okay, so first he focused on his people, the people of God. Now he looks out to the world. It says, but to the wicked, God says, okay? So He's declaring his audience, the wicked. What right have you to declare my statutes or take my covenant in your mouth? We see we see atheists and non-Christians attacking Christianity through the Bible. God says you have no right. How dare you? What right have you to declare my statutes and take my covenant in your mouth, seeing as you hate instruction and cast my words behind you? If you're not following God, how dare you talk about what he does? Seeing as you hate instruction, they don't want to follow God's words, and they cast his words behind you. Okay, so it gives examples. When you saw a thief, you consented with him. San Francisco. Look at what they do with thieves being able to rob openly without jail time. And you have been a partaker with adulterers. You give your mouth to evil, and your tongue frames deceit. You sit and speak against your brother and slander your own mother's son. These things you have done, and I have kept silent. You thought that I was altogether like you. So because God didn't say anything about the evil that's being done in the world, they think God has no opinion. But I will rebuke you and set them in order before your eyes. So for these people, the wicked, or the people that are not part of God's covenant, silence is considered violence by God, because you consented with the thief, you consented with the adulterer, you spoke evil and deceit, spoke against your own family, and slandered your own family. And because God doesn't say anything, you think it's okay. Now consider this, those who forget God. Okay, so this isn't just you who forget God. That could be the wicked. That could be people who are doing all those things in the first part of Psalms 50. It says, now consider this, lest I tear you in pieces, and there be none to deliver. Whoever offers praise to me glorifies me. Okay, so we're talking about we talked a few videos ago about the public perception of God. So we offer him praise, we glorify his name. And to him who orders his conduct aright, I will show the salvation of God. Not with their tongue, but with their deeds. What are the deeds he's looking for? He has shown thee, O man, what is good and what the Lord doth require of thee, but to do justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with your God. That's a King James Version. Sorry about that, but it just comes out. So that's what the Lord's looking for. And he says he'd rather have your obedience than your sacrifice. We talk about, on Facebook, give you an example. Oh, say amen if you love God. Say praise to God if you really love God. God would prefer obedience than your stupid affirmation of him on Facebook. So what is affirmation? What is righteous? Being just, loving mercy, and to walk humbly. And so that means not consenting with thieves, being a partaker with adulterers, and not giving your mouth to evil or your tongue to deceit. Jesus said, let your yes be yes and your no be no. Anything apart from that is of the evil one. Well, that was long, 10 minutes, but that really caught my attention today. Um, so I don't know what I'm going to title this. Who knows? It may change from what I started at 10 minutes ago, but I just wanted to share that with you.